you guys, this is Gwynne with La Passion de la Couleur. Today I'm going to show you how to make some super tasty truffles. But first thing we need to do is make the chocolate ganache that's going to go within these truffles. I have the whipping cream over here, and it's 1 cup. You're going to heat it up. Over here I've got 9 ounces of chocolate baking chips. And so what I'm going to do is heat up the whipping cream and then be right back. I have my warm whipping cream. You want to heat it up enough to where there's little bubbles that form around the side. I use the microwave, but you don't want it too hot. So I'm going to add this to the chocolate chips, and I'm going to let it sit for 1 minute. I want to make sure to let them melt a little bit before we start to stir them together. Okay, so we have let this sit for a minute to let the chocolate chips get a little soft, and as you can see, I am the best whisker ever because I'm in super speed. However, in actuality, you're wanting to be very careful when you're incorporating these 2 ingredients, as to be not let it spill or slosh out the sides or get everywhere, but this is the consistency you're wanting. And so what we're going to do is add some saran wrap and press it down on top so that no air is going to be touching this when we're putting in the refrigerator. Because if air gets on the ganache as it's firming up, then you're going to have a little bit of dry ganache, and that is the last thing we want for tasty truffles. You can use any types of fun ingredients to jazz up your truffles. Today we're making the basic chocolate. So I'm going to pull these out. This is the ganache. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for about an hour. You can see it right here. I'm pressing on it a little bit. It's still pliable. You want it to be firm, but not too firm. And you can see as I'm poking on it, there's still some give. So I'm going to take this saran wrap off very carefully and put it to the side. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy 1-inch scooper. Looks kind of like an ice cream scoop, and it's got that wonderful little sweeper thingy on it. And I'm going to start scooping out these ganache balls. And you want to flatten it out so it makes kind of like a dome. And you want to put it down on a lined sheet. We're using parchment paper today. And scoop them out one at a time. So pulling these out of the refrigerator, I'll let them set in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes. You're wanting to press slightly on them. They're a little firmer than when I first pulled the bowl of ganache out. And that's so that we can go ahead and roll them up without them falling apart on us. And so you're going to roll each of these into more shapely little balls. And as you're rolling, if you find any of the scoops that have not been, as well formed as others, go ahead and press it and make it work until you find the right shape that you would like, and continue rolling until you complete everything on the tray. After you finish rolling the truffles, this time around you're going to set them off to the side. We're going to let air hit them for a little bit so that they form a little skin. It'll be easier to work with. So here we have all of the truffles. We have let them sit out for an hour to form a skin over them. And we've got 12 ounces of baking chips right here. We're going to heat these up. Now, what you don't want to do is put the truffles in the refrigerator, or else when you put the chocolate on it, it's going to crack. Okay, the chocolate has been melted, so I'm stirring this around to make sure that we get all of the lumps out of it. You're wanting a consistency like this without the lumps, and so you're going to stir until you've got it nice and uniform. Now what you're going to do is take these handy dandy tools I have right here. Honestly, you can use a fork. I'm using this just, because. Anyway, you're going to roll it around in the chocolate until it's entirely covered, And then you're going to tap, tap, tap away all of the excess chocolate and let it drip off back into the bowl so that you can reuse it for your other truffles. And then when you've got enough chocolate off of it, you take this and scoop it off onto the paper. So now it's time to decorate these truffles. I've melted some white baking chips. You want it to this kind of consistency. And what we're going to do is, I'm using white today just to give it a nice contrast, but you can use any color and do it any way you want. So I'm going to get this scoop, put a little bit of chocolate in here, and just drizzle over each of the truffles until you feel completely satisfied with what you've been working with. There's so many things that you can do with white drizzle, but today I'm doing a standard one. And here we go. This is the coffee and cake collection. You can get them on my website, link below. There's the s'mores that have the graham cracker sprinkles on top. We've got the Black Forest, which has bits of cherry on them and in them. And then below, we've got the coffee truffles, which are very similar in decoration to the ones that I made earlier and showed you how to do.